right, guys, here we are from the trailer reaction. Today we're reacting to the trailer for the movie Keep Watching. So when we first looked at this, I was like, it might be a horror movie, and then I see it releases on Halloween night, and that makes me very optimistic, or it's terrible timing for a drama.
I want to call out balloons like it.
Yes,
So,
which I now notice have blood on them.
Yeah,
and I
we
didn't
see
notice that in the
like,
thumbnail. Something that's odd, though, is for a movie to come out on Halloween night, you've almost already missed your mark.
That happens
because
a lot, actually.
kind of the day after Halloween, people are like, I'm over horrors.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
And not people like you and I who like horrors all year round, but like your average person is like, oh, scary movies, da-da-da-da-da. And then once November hits, they're like, they're already into Christmas. They skip right over November.
I was going to say, what happened to Thanksgiving, man?
There's nothing really about Thanksgiving. There's no like Thanksgiving movies, da-da-da-da-da. But you know what I mean? So like, if you come out on Halloween night.
Only Home for the Holidays, which I highly recommend you watch. No, you've already like missed because like leading up to Halloween is when like the parties and the scary stories and like the things would happen where like going to see a scary movie would like make sense to do. I totally agree. So I think I see this every year when something premieres Halloween night.
There's one more caveat. If you see below that, it says in theaters everywhere, Halloween night, 10 p.m. only.
Oh, what does that mean?
So that means it's a limited release. And now I take it back where I'm like, okay, that could be a way people could spend their Halloween. They could see a horror movie
at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Only?
Presumably.
Why is that better than coming out at like 10 a.m. on Halloween?
Well, here's the issue. No, it's not better than 10 a.m.
Okay.
But like if you're one day only Halloween versus we are opening into theaters Halloween night and then you're presumably going to be there for 2-3 weeks, I don't think you're going to make any money in those following 2-3 weeks.
So we think in theaters everywhere Halloween night 10 p.m. only. So you're taking that to mean that it will not continue to air after 10 p.m.
I think it's one time. Only on Halloween.
Okay.
And maybe it'll allude more to that at the end of the trailer. Let's just check it out. That looks pretty good.
Oh.
I'm actually super into this movie. I like the idea. I think the releasing at 10 p.m. only is interesting, but I think that you could get enough people interested in this. If like assuming this trailer was played on TV or anything where people could actually see it, I could see people going, "Oh yeah, gotta see that."
The production value is a lot higher than what I expected for that weird limited release thing that we were debating in like the pre-thing. I will say I thought the trailer was really strange, and by the end of it, it was really like whatever music they were playing, I thought was really like a really weird choice that did not make it click together for me.
I have to see this because I need to know. Like, is this their actual house? Because if this is their house, how are these people doing this? How are they ghosting around in it without being like seen or heard? Like, you know where the creaks are in your house. Like,
yeah, did they say something? And where did all these gates appear for to close everything off? It was that whole thing was very weird. I did forget about that as it got more into it and all that stuff. But then I was just, I don't know. What I'm hoping, I don't know. I want it to be a thing where like they're like this is like a reality show for like rich snuff film perverts and they want to like watch this family like fight for their lives and kill or be killed or whatever. I want there to be something like that. I assume that's what's going on.
I assume there's going to be something along those lines for it, or else why would you do this? But it's super,
but yeah, it can't be their house. They have to have gone to this house.
Like that guy right there, like that to set up that shot. How difficult was it? Where like he opens the door and a Polaroid catches him just as the guy's behind him, and then like does he take the bag off its own head to choke that guy to death with?
It was really strange.
That's weird.
But does this stuff even bother you? Like if you are like a bigger horror fan than me, but there's a lot of like coincidences and weird shit that lines up a certain way. Like how did you know she wasn't just going to run out the front door? Like
that's why I need to see it. I need to know.
Like
I need to know exactly what the setup is here.
Or whatever.
Because there has to be. There has to be. Because this seems to be like a movie that has a decent budget. It's in theaters, which means it's already at that level of spending
maybe only
your
once
money.
Though.
I think only once.
Okay.
But still, even to get to that one level.
One is still a lot more than zero in the grand scheme of things.
I need to know how far is the house from the street. I need to know like all these things to make it make sense. Well, yeah, because I'm big into the details. The devil is in the details. And if the house is anywhere near any other houses, it doesn't necessarily work for me. Because if you're actually in this position where you're going to be murdered, like my first thought would be, all right, I'm going to start lighting the house on fire.
Exactly.
Because I'm like, then at least someone will have to come.
People are supposed to come when the house lights on fire.
Yes, and no matter what, if you're near neighbors, no matter what kind of weird hoodoo or voodoo or whatever these people are working with, pulling phones and whatnot, they can't stop them from putting out the fire.
I know that was one of my first actual thoughts here. I can't imagine why that doesn't happen.
But if you're not close enough to anybody, you risk dying in a fire.
Also, they're like the phones are gone, and then it's like I don't know what. So like phones are. I just thought of something else. No, but like
all the phones are off the walls.
Yeah, but then like, what about their cell phones? What about like Skype on their laptop? Like,
well,
is
if they cut
if
they cut the internet,
yeah,
and like the phones are gone, could just be a weird choice of words for that they pulled the phone lines and they're jamming the cells. I looked up once upon a time about like things like that. It was doing some research, like how hard is it to jamming phones?
Cell phones, yeah.
And for like $1,200, you could jam phones for like your block.
Okay.
So it's not out of the realm of possibility.
No.
Once you start jamming though, is it the FCC?
I was gonna say,
I forget who it is. They can tell pretty quickly.
I know. I heard about. Well, why do I know that? There's some reason I know that if you fuck with certain things or whatever. Anyway. There are some hot shots of like inside the microwave and shit like that I kind of liked in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like behind the clock. I wasn't sure where it was going at that point though, so I forgot about it. But no, I don't know. Just because I want to know the details, I'm very different between like wanting more information and then wanting to watch the film. Because
they are one and the same.
Because you can get the information without seeing the film though.
Potentially.
So like I have to want to say, and like I kind of do. So like I'm not even saying that in this case this is like some distinction, but like just because I want to know more about what the fuck's going on doesn't mean I actually want to sit there for 90 minutes to whatever it is, 10 hours now that movies are so long.
Like they barricade themselves in a room, which is semi-smart, but it looked like in one shot, then the guy is in there. So like there's a way into her room too, and
and that's even crazier, right? Because if
it's actually their house,
if it's their house, and these people can come and go, they know where all the phones are, they know exactly what well, there's only one way to get to the kitchen, so we're gonna put a tarp up, or if there's already a tarp somehow, or whatever the fuck it was, right?
I think that was a pocket door.
They have to do all these weird things to fucking like set these traps or set up the house in a certain way.
My prediction,
seems crazy.
If like I had to guess based on the information I know now, which is very limited, would be that maybe they're newish to this house, and these people owned the house for years beforehand, set it up before the sale or whatever. Yeah. But that doesn't even entirely work because the cameras aren't built into the walls. They're like behind items and in things. Like she moves like a flower or something, and it was right there. So like they got in the house, and that. But that could explain how they have like ways of passage through the different rooms and know that.
Yeah. Hopefully they will address some of how this setup even like came to be, because it's a crazy level of like combinations of cameras in weird places, and like those old rusty gates that snap shut on their own but are somehow like not noticeable until they engage or whatever is very like what is happening.
It's not
here?
To say that they're not noticeable. It's just to say that that they are there.
Okay.
If the house knows if they know they're there and just don't use them, like they could be like this could be. Florida or Tornado Alley or something where like things like that make sense as storm shutters.
Okay. If there's some explanation for that, then I'll go a long way for me to no longer be like, what the fuck. I would like a line in the trailer of like the alarm system or like the thing it's jammed or some weird thing just to help me out with that, because that's like what am I looking at?
But I'm sure they'll give all those details in there in the beginning. I do think it's a creepy concept. Anytime someone's intruding your home, this is why I litter the house with weapons. I'm ready for this shit. But then they do give out weapons and they want them to fight back.
Totally.
And that is also interesting.
Be careful what you wish for. You might get killed by some family you're trying to sell stuff, images, streams of the internet.
Well, but either way, the person that was probably is running that group would still get killings, and people would still be happy.
We just need murder. We don't care how it happens. So, so Halloween night, are we going to watch this?
I could. I'm off. I could see this movie on Halloween night.
I don't know what day of the week that is.
It's a Wednesday, I think.
What the fuck?
I just always take off Halloween, I believe.
Oh, just in case there's a movie premiering that night?
You know it.
Fucking A. No, I will give this a thumbs up. I just have the various, things about it.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely giving the thumbs up. I do want to see this film.
We see a lot of horror movie trailers, and this definitely has a few things unique and going for it amongst us, like a sea of like.
Oh my! Did I just notice this for the first time?
Is that the kid from what's?
Is that Carl?
I almost said that, but that means.
What year was this film?
That means that if the kid in this movie is Carl from Walking Dead, it has to have been filmed like over 5 years ago, which makes no sense. Although maybe it's true.
I don't know, but that's something we have to look up later. I definitely want to see this. Leave us a comment below what you think about this. Don't die to fire, and we'll see you next time. Chandler
Riggs.
Yep, he's in this.
All right, so I guess you didn't cut, and it is Chandler.
Holy shit!
When is that? That means that this was filmed in like he looks like a fetus at this time.